Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Santi. If you're ready, kindly smash the like button. If you're new, kindly subscribe to the channel. Support your boy. As we push our way to 10,000 subscribers, and today with me, I have one and only Jeffery Dalyop on Arsenal Twitter, who is not a stranger to most of you people. How you doing, bro?
Doing well, Santi. Thanks for having me.
Yep, it's a pleasure. And in this video, we're going to discuss why Mikel Merino makes sense for us now. I mean, the name is not so popular. It's not the exciting midfielder. A lot of Arsenal fans are looking forward to, coming into this summer, me included. I was hoping we'll go out there and get a marquee signing in midfield, the likes of Bruno Guimaraes, you know. But Mikel Merino, it seems is the one we're getting. What do you think about him? His addition to the team? Because I've looked at this guy. I watched, the few games of Real Society that I watched last season. My focus was on Suzuki because we've been linked to him, for like a year or two now. I've never really focused on Merino, but this Euro, I watched few of him and he never stood out to me, right? I just don't get it. What was that special thing about him?
I just think he stabilizes the ship. That's the way I see him. He's he's a very experienced player. He's 28 now.
Mhm.
He's a mature
And
player.
doesn't match the age profile as well.
Well, you know, well, I hear that. I'm I'm I hold the opinion that we could do it with a few more mature signings. And genuinely, I've been ever since Trossard came in. In fact, I was excited about that signing because I feel sometimes the experience counts, right? And it's something I felt we lacked. However,
Yeah.
Merino is the kind of guy to get you off your seat. People are not going to be, trooping forward, and nobody's going to have their hands up celebrating. But he's a very interesting profile. I think I said what he brings mainly is stability because he's not a standout player. I don't think he's the guy who he's not like Thomas Partey. He's not going to be dropping his shoulder, beating people left, right, center. But he does the basics right. He's very tough. He's a journeyman. He's been to England before with Newcastle. Of
Which
course,
didn't work
his
out.
time in yeah, it didn't work. The Newcastle spell was not one of his best too, but yeah, I guess we'll dive more into that. But yeah, I'll say he stabilizes the ship basically.
Right. I think for me, the only positive I've seen from the deal so far is the fact that he sort of give players like Ethan, a pathway into the first team because
Mm,
it's not a long time signing. It will probably just be here for 2 to 3 years, and that's just it. By then, I
yeah.
feel like Ethan would have, gotten more experience. If his development goes as expected, he would have gotten more experience to come into the first team. Because I tried to look up this guy, all I could see is his defensive ability. Off the ball, he's a draw monster. He is a ball winner. He's strong, especially with area balls. I just don't see
Mm.
much of, his quality on the ball. Does he give us that control we lack when we don't have Giorgio and Partey in that midfield? Does he bring that up?
Mm.
Because with a signing, if he's starting the game with Declan Rice, Declan will probably be the one playing at the base and this guy playing as box to box. Does he bring that control into the midfield?
Okay, the thing with Merino is, does he bring control like Jorginho? No, I not the Merino I've watched. Um, no, because I would say he's very ambitious with his passing. Santi, you're going to see him a lot of the time. He wants to split defensive line. I think he's funny because when you look at all his stats as a midfielder this season, the one thing you're not going to be comfortable with is his passing accuracy. He's very aggressive with it too. Sometimes
Mhm.
it doesn't come off, but he doesn't stop trying. The thing with him is
Even
always
at the
looking to
Euros,
split.
was very bad. And this guy was
Mm.
speaking on him for his Ligona was I saw a tweet of him saying his passing accuracy at so time was his passing accuracy at the
Who's that?
Euros was
Who's talking?
Lee Ligona.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
What did
go
he
on. Go on.
say?
Yeah, he was criticizing his passing accuracy. I saw one tweet like that.
Yeah, with Merino, that's the issue. He's had games for Sociedad where I've seen him keep it calm a little bit. Um, I know he's Spanish, but I just think it's a thing with him. It's just his personality. He wants to be aggressive and play the ball forward, and that's why, yeah, when you said Rice may sit at the base and then he will have that license to be able to play as an eight. It can work in that sense. He can take those risks if we're going to play that way. Another thing with him, I should say, is it's a very underrated part of his game. Um, one sec. Yeah, it's his engine. Um, Santi, he's not the quickest player in the world, but another thing with him is if you want somebody to play that box to box with the brain to do it and be able to get up and down the pitch, Merino has a wicked engine, and he duels for fun, like you've already highlighted. But yeah, passing to your main question, he's not a controller type. He can do the basics. I think he's more than decent on the ball. He's very press resistant too, very tricky. Yeah, in that sense.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I,
he's not
I,
a,
I forgot that about him as well.
yeah, yeah. He takes risks. But Santi, I want to ask you though, right?
Hmm.
Do you think in that sense though, maybe it could be complementary to what Declan Rice does?
Now that's my major concern because a lot of people have just given up on Declan Rice being a six. Oh, he cannot play as a six because it doesn't give us control. It doesn't take risk with his passes, whatever, whatever. And if you're telling me what a player is lacking is on the ball ability, and his strongest attribute is defending, you know, and you don't want that player shielding your defense. You want him up the pitch when
Mm,
he's so useless on the ball. So we doesn't make sense to me. So my own uh take has always been find him a player that complements him. All those things is lacking on the ball.
mm.
Find him a partner in midfield that has have all those things. So we don't have to look to him when we want these things to happen on the pitch. But it's Merino really that guy.
I think I think he can be. I think he can be. I really think he can.
And
He
one other thing,
Yeah.
which I don't fully believe myself. Last season there was a narrative that uh Martinelli suffered last season because there's this lack of chemistry, or the left hand side dynamic issue, that there's an issue with that left hand side, whatever. It doesn't have an overlapping fullback. It doesn't have this. He's isolated nearly every time, right? Now Calafiori is in. He can carry. He can provide overlap. He can in fact do all of those things. Now, even though I believe that most of last season was down to Martinelli's confidence, not necessarily 100%, whatever was happening on that left side. But
Mm.
let's agree that was the truth, right? Calafiori has come in. Is Merino the missing piece on that left side? Because a lot of people are thinking Merino is 100% coming to sit on the bench. I believe he will be involved more than people are
Yeah,
thinking.
I think he'll start. I think he'll start. I'll be real with you. I think he'll start. I think he's because Santi, this is the thing, right? You made a point about Rice. Just for me to just run back there and just quickly brush it through to your final question. I actually disagree with people, man. I think, like you said, if you buy one of the best defensive shields in the world, you want him protecting your defense. I've never
It's a
seen this thing
no-brainer.
people do. Like you, and sometimes yeah, I think there's a little bit of revisionism when it comes to Declan Rice. Santi, I can't lie to you. Some of the best games, I remember Crystal Palace away. I remember the one where he gave Nketiah that assist, where it was at the Emirates, where he put it through the defender's legs. Rice
Mhm.
as a six did a big job, especially when you consider there were even times we played with Fabio Vieira and Odegaard as eights. It's not a joke to play with those two guys up top. So, but hey, man, people believe what they want to believe. But my thing with Mikel Merino is he's not Gundogan. Like he's not going to be picking up, but he's a big guy. He's huge, right? And not just his size, he's also stocky. If you look at the size of this guy, he's he's a weird. It's a weird one, yeah, with Arteta. If he says he's going to put him in left, the guy is left-footed, so you know what some of those things you want to see on the left side, where your midfielder is, combining, forming
Yeah, I
triangles,
think it's good when it comes to half space crosses as well.
100%. So if that's how you want to use him, if Arteta wants to use him to do that, there's also one more thing in his game I feel is very, very underrated, and I think we might need to talk about it, Santi. We're going long more often as a team, right? Especially this
Mhm.
season. We spend less time in the build-up, and the keeper is more willing to put it. Merino's aerial stats are scary, and the way he plays with his back to goal. I don't know what Arteta's plan is because Havertz can flick the ball down for others to come and attack. But with Merino, that is a big, big issue with Merino where um what is Arteta's plan? Is Arteta thinking of some kind of diamond? How does Merino fit into that? These are some of the things I feel like we might need to just briefly, just to wrap this up, we might need to evolve that conversation. Santi, I have a belief, right, that Arteta, based on what he was trying to do last season before Timber went injured, has moved on from the left eight, right eight top. I really think he's getting more advanced than that, and could be looking at some kind of diamond. I don't know, but I just think maybe part of why we struggle to see the use of some of these signs because we might be looking at them as strictly 4-3-3 players, 4-4-2 players.
Mhm.
I think it's more interesting than that.
And it doesn't seem we're getting a forward player. Like it's such. I don't know what how to describe our summer. Like it's not really exciting as people maybe were spoiled last summer. I mean, last two transfer windows with the addition of Jesus, Declan Rice last summer. And this summer, me as a person was just, it was a first excitement with Calafiori. I won't lie because we had a very good season. Defense, the defensive wise last season were very good, and I wasn't just looking forward to that. I was looking forward to a marquee signing in midfield. I was looking forward to a marquee signing up front. And Merino, it is like Jessica was here the other day and he described him Merino signing like is Shaka an exciting player? No. Does Shaka get the job done? Yes.
100%.
And that's what she literally described Merino with. And it sort of makes sense to me. Doesn't have to be exciting, but would the player get the job done? If he gets the job done, I really don't care, to be honest. If he's here for 2, 3 years and you know gives pathway to Ethan and Lewis Skelly, I think it makes sense. I'm willing to
That's
give it a chance.
a big
I
point.
think-
Santi, that's a big point because Santi, I can't lie, thinking about the future sometimes. I've kind of tweeted about it before, but I've never spoken about this. So this is a good place for us for me to just quickly say this.
Mhm.
With Thomas Partey, Jorginho at their age, it could cost us big money to do surgery in that midfield. And midfield is not a place where you need to take compromises. We've already felt the market, and you can see how much they're asking us to pay for guys like Bruno Guimaraes. We could save close to 200 million in those two boys, Nwanerri and Skelly. But I can't lie, these are the kind of stopgaps that make sense to me. That exactly as you described. If Merino will be a placeholder in a year or two, Nwanerri is now a man. He's strong. He understands the first team. He's played a few FA Cup games, Premier League appearances, even his build. You remember when Saka was his age, he doesn't even look the same anymore. These are the kind of
Mhm.
things that at the club we yeah. If this is where Edu is thinking, yeah, and my little thing is I'm very critical with Edu and Arteta a lot, right? But there's one area of the pitch I watch them. I just have my notebook out and I keep taking notes, and it's that midfield because they played it for this club. One of them wore the armband, and if they know any position in this team, it better be in that midfield. So I'm watching the Merino thing closely. I have a few ideas, but hey, it'll be fun, man. Let me see how this aging guy, because apparently if you're 28 now, it seems you're an old man on Twitter. It's kind of scary. I don't like
Yeah,
the way
and
football.
people have sold this youth project, over the last few years, and everybody is no more comfortable with signings above, 27, 28. They consider them old already. When guys like Gondwan are still going strong, Lewandowski and all of those guys, it, I don't know, it doesn't make sense.
Hey, it is what it is, man. I guess it's just a new football thing. For me, my uncle used to always say, Jeff, careers begin at 30 in Italy. If you trust that, If
Mhm.
Trossard goes to, he's a star boy. They don't care. They don't have money. Don't buy him, man. They'll give him the number 7 or 11 jersey in some club, and he plays his football, wins a title or so. So, me, I'm old school, man. I like just get the effective guys. But yeah, I would like that Merino signing in that sense because of what it can do for Nwanerri and co. They are not ready, Santi. It's just the truth.
No,
They're
they're not
close.
100% ready. They are not
They're not ready.
100% ready. Like they need slow integration into the first team, and
They-
I can't lie. If we're being real, we need to see more of them in the first team this season. To be fair, the
Mm.
Carabao Cup games, the FA Cup games, they just have to get solid minutes in those competitions, and few Premier League games as well.
Can I ask you something?
Hmm.
Please don't. Let's not. I don't want to make it like the past will equate to the future, right? But just hear me out here. I've watched these two boys, and Marco goes to a lot of the academy games. In fact, there's a guy on Twitter. I'm sure you've met him, Marco. He's a Hale End guy, right?
Hmm.
He's watched these boys since they were like, basically since they were so young, and he's seen them grow up. Santi, I've watched Waneri a lot, and he's so good. But Lewis Skelly doesn't get talked about. Do you feel like you might have like a Saka and Emil Smith Rowe situation where nobody really talks about Lewis Skelly, but I can't lie, Santi, physically, mentally, that kid is quiet, but he's scary.
I Going into the preseason, I was saying it on one of the previous videos I made that going into the preseason, a lot of people wanted to see Nwanerry. The person I was most curious about was Lewis Kelly. Like, I really want to see
Mm,
what this guy is about. And it came, I think that was his first time playing professional minutes at left
mm,
back. It's not talked about enough. And that's one thing about academy players. It's always the ones that, doesn't get the hype that ends up making it. It's always been like that over the years. So I'm really keeping my eyes out on him. And I've said something that I'm gonna judge Arteta's fate in these kids, in these academic kids, with these two guys, the way he handles the development of Lewis Kelly and Ethan. If you want to send them on loan, get a good loan plan, find a team that plays the way we do, and guaranteed minutes. So that will really, really do their development, a lot of good. And if you want to keep them at the club, then you have to be willing or be ready to give them minutes, to build their confidence and give them a lot of experience pending the time they are ready to fully come into the first team.
fantastic. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, there you have it, guys. Let's know what your thoughts are, and in the comment section, don't forget to drop a like on the video, and I will see you guys on the next one.